Sandra. Welcome to another episode of Asexualized, my sexual life. This is a place to be for education about asexuality, all things asexual, and I share my own asexual life journey in order to help you in yours. If you haven't already subscribed, please hit the great big subscribe button down below now. Please hit that bell icon to get notified of every time I go live like now or post a new video. Hey Michael, nice to see you. And don't forget to give this video a thumbs up as we go along if you're enjoying the content. If you don't know who I am Sandra Bellamy, author of this beautiful book called Asexual Perspectives, 47 Asexual Stories, Love, Life and Sex, a celebration of asexual diversity. It's real asexual stories. To be about a year to interview everyone in the book about what they really think of love, life and sex and how to survive and thrive in this highly sexualized world. So do, after this video, go and check the links out below. I'm also the founder of asexuality.com and the founder of Asexualized Academy, which is the world's first online training centre and school for asexuals and asexuality. Well, today I've got a very, very special episode for you. In this episode, I'm going to be talking through how to basically disconnect from someone who's been your friend for a while, how to let go of someone who's your friend, who you've been friends with for some time, but they're no good for you anymore. Things have changed and you kind of need to move on, but it's a little bit sad. It's hard because you've been friends with them for a long time. Now, if you watched my previous live stream, it was I mentioned in there that there was a guy who I was really interested in, who is a foreign guy and he lives in Algeria. And this particular guy I hadn't heard from since January. And you might have remembered way back then, I did do a YouTube video about a guy that I was really interested in. And he finally said that he thought I was his soulmate. And that's kind of the words I'd wanted to hear for a long time from him. And he lived in Algeria. He wanted to come to my city for university. And yeah, it's kind of like, that was good. And then I had the thoughts afterwards that it wasn't so good because the conversation I had with him actually wasn't very great in my favor. And I actually realized that he wasn't good for me and he wasn't my soulmate, right? So if you listen to that, I'm just going to read from my phone. If you listen to that actual conversation on my last live stream, you know, I described myself, you know, this is what I said, is that this is back in January the 24th. Bear in mind, it's the last time he spoke to me, January the 24th. We're now in like what it's like April 2019. This is like 3 months difference, and my birthday was on the 24th of April, so it was exactly 3 months later when he's trying to get in touch with me for my birthday, right? But back in January I said I thought about everything you said, and if you really cared about me, then you would not be embarrassed to speak to me in a cafe in front of people. This is really important because I need to tell you this because of the conversation that I actually had this week with him. And it's really important I give the background history so you know what I'm talking about. So this guy said he really was like, he thought I was his soulmate and all the rest of it, and then he's not even prepared to talk to me. I have a boyfriend now who's amazing, but this guy back then wasn't prepared to even talk to me in an internet cafe, but yet he tried to talk to me before in an internet cafe. And to cut a long story short, he's making excuses up. So you'll see the excuses he makes even like yesterday when he's messaging me, right? So I put, you know, if you're my soulmate, you know, you would go out of your way to ensure you video chat with me come rain or shine, no matter what. And if I mean so much to you, then you would be messaging me, Skyping me, and truly want me to be in your life daily, like a best friend and soulmate. This guy I have been friends with since 14th of February 2014. He actually spoke to me the first time on Valentine's Day 5 years ago. So I have been actual friends with him for a long time, although he was obviously interested in me in a romantic relationship, and I was with him at that point. We were friends for a very long time. So it's not like he's just come into my life this year. I've known him for 5 years. Okay, that's a long time to know someone online, right? So it wasn't easy, thing with him, to do with romantics and stuff. So, right. But then I said to him, you know, back in January, because I realized, I thought, you're not actually my soulmate. You're no good for me. I realized that back in January, and I actually unfriended him on Facebook. But before I said, you know, that if I mean so much to you, then you would be messaging me, Skyping him, treating me in your life daily, which my current now beautiful boyfriend does. Like a best friend and soulmate. You're not this type of guy, not with me. See, clearly this guy wasn't right for me. I have friends who I am more closely bonded to than you, and I deserve the best guy for me who will adore me in terms of a relationship. So you clearly are not that guy. I hope you find a foreign girl who you do feel like this over and take action with. In 5 years, I have never seen you on camera. That says a lot. You know, if someone's really interested in you, they want to video chat with you. Me and my boyfriend like are video chatting like regularly, like nearly every day. And we're messaging each other every day. You know, we really need to see each other on camera. It's so important. Sometimes we're like video chatting for 1 or 2 hours and time just flies by. But you know, I've never seen you on camera. That says a lot. Actions speak louder than words, and this is very relevant to friendships as well, right? If someone's saying they really, really like you, that they can't make any time for you, they can't see you, they can't talk to you on the phone, they can't be in your life, they're telling you a load of rubbish. They're just having you as a friend when they feel like it, right? So this doesn't just apply to relationships; it applies to friendship. Because don't forget, I've been friends with him for 5 years, although there's always been some like romantic type stuff going on and off with us, you know. Um, so I have Indian guys who stay up until 1 a.m. or 2 a.m. in the morning to speak with me gladly. That will never happen with you voluntarily. I do not want to have to fight for a guy's attention or have him blame me, but I am not available when really you were embarrassed to talk to me in front of people, which is not nice. Yeah, so he would start blaming me, you see. This is not good. Same as if you ever have a friend that says, oh, well, I couldn't phone you because you weren't available, or I couldn't phone you because you were busy. I mean, you're not going to be busy all the time, right? And they could actually plan a day in your diary with you, right? If they were good people. So, you know, you can get friends like this as well, not just a potential relationship type of person, which this guy was. And I don't need a guy like this for a relationship. I need a strong guy who does not make excuses, who knows for definite I am who he wants to be with the rest of his life, and who wants the whole world to know it because I'm worth that much to him and myself, which my current boyfriend now does. Clearly, it's good looking back at this because I can see now my boyfriend's like ticks my boxes. Do you know what I mean? It's like, wow, I wrote all this stuff on a dating site and I wrote all this stuff out to this guy who clearly wasn't the right guy for me. And finally, I have the cute British guy who's beautiful and amazing who fulfills all these needs in me, you know, like naturally. It's not like forced, it's just naturally the way he is and I am with him, right? So, and then this guy was saying, it seems that you haven't understood what I was meaning, not embarrassed about you, took it personally, so it's all my fault, you see. This is not a good guy. That's actually some narcissistic traits in there when a person switches it around on the other person all the time for their bad behavior, right? It's about speaking English in front of people. He's an English teacher, right? We have our social order. I don't want to speak English while the others would stare at me. He teaches English for a job. He's a teacher. He does this all the time. So he's talking rubbish, right? If he doesn't like people staring at him, why is he an English teacher, right? I've even, for him, done some voice work for him free. So when he had a class full of pupils, he listed about 11 children down, and I spoke all their names in English on audio files so he could do that for the children, right? So he's talking loads of rubbish, right? So I am not to show off. He's an English teacher. You know, it's not about showing off. It's about having a conversation in an internet cafe. If they didn't have conversations in his country, in internet cafes would not exist, would they? Do you know what I mean? It's just making up rubbish all the time, just lies, right? I don't like it when people stare at me. Here, they don't mind their business. Sorry you got it that way. Every time I speak to you, it ends that way. Let's not talk about this again. Hope you have a nice day. See, it's all my fault. It's always my fault with him. It always has been for 5 years, right? So, you know, talking to a friend, or in my case, it's supposed to be more for me. It's not showing off. You're an English teacher, so don't tell me you don't want to speak English in front of people. Even a friend would do that. It's all excuses, and that is the type of guy who is definitely not worthy of me and my love. I did read some of this out on my last video, but I want to do it again because it's important to know how this conversation progressed yesterday, right? This is 3 months later, right? I need a strong guy who's proud to speak to me in public, not a guy like this. Even a best friend would not treat me this way, right? I thought you're mature, but I got that wrong. You care more about what others think than me. So no, you're definitely not my soulmate, and we're not meant to be together in a relationship ever. So find another British woman who you say you care about, but do not want to talk to in front of others. It's ludicrous. I have never heard of something so ridiculous in my life, especially coming from an English teacher, right? In fact, what type of friend are you to behave this way towards me? So this is why I labeled this video as friendship, because we've never actually had a relationship, me and this guy, and he has been a friend for 5 years. But clearly, you know, even if we took the romantic stuff out that's been between me and him, feelings wise, he's no good as a friend, right? Because he's just bullshiting, excuse my language. He's just talking rubbish. You know, if he can't go to an internet cafe to speak to me in 5 years, it obviously doesn't value my friendship very much, does it? Right? So, I put not a good one, that's for sure. Right? It's more like an acquaintance, and I doubt even one of those would say such things. I'm truly shocked by your behaviour, but you always warned about foreign guys. He always warned me about other foreign guys, so clearly he's one of those foreign guys he should have warned me himself about. So I guess that includes you two, not impressed. And then he was being sarcastic, saying, thanks for being very understanding, respectful, Sandra. That was very polite of you. Again, I hope you're okay. And I put, I'm glad you appreciate my understanding of you. And he put a thumbs up. So I defriended him, right? I didn't block this guy because I have been friends with him for 5 years nearly back then. It was February, Valentine's Day 2014, and it was January 2019, so nearly 5 years, and it's gone over 5 years now, right? And then I thought, do you know what I mean? I thought it's ridiculous. So I unfriended him. I wasn't sure where to block him or not. I thought, well, I'll see if he actually bothers to reply, yeah? Because I know in the past, sometimes he doesn't talk to me for months, right? Now, bear in mind, it was my birthday this Wednesday, right? And I keep getting phone calls from Algeria, right? And I don't know. I was with my asexual best friend, Sam, and I was basically, what was I going to say? I was trying to find out, what was I trying to find out? Sorry, I can hear my own voice in the background. Like my other half is in another room and I can hear him. It's really weird. My voice is like echoing throughout the rooms. It's a bit weird. Right, so basically, there was this guy trying to phone me from Algeria, and he tried to ring me, and it's like I didn't know who it was, but I thought it might be him. But then he doesn't usually ring me on my phone, right? I mean, I didn't give him my phone number, so I presumed it was just like, some random person. And my boyfriend looked it up and looked like it might be not my boyfriend. So I wasn't with my boyfriend. My boyfriend's here tonight. I was with my best friend Sam, and he looked it up for me, and it looked like it actually was going to be a scam because I didn't know who was like phoning me from Algeria. And anyway, then I found out it was this actual guy that used to fancy me. That he hasn't messaged me since January. So anyway, he put like on Wednesday, like at 11:49 at night. Hi, Sandra, I've been phoning you to say happy birthday. Many happy returns of the day. Stay blessed and happy. Adele's his name. I think I told you, right? And I put, hi, Adele. I didn't know it was you, as we have not been in contact since January here. And you are no longer on my friends list. I've met a cute younger British guy now who I am in a relationship with and is the soulmate I described to you he would be. He's 23 to 24 next month, and we get on like a house on fire, right? So bear in mind, I've told him on Thursday that at 3:23 in the morning that I have a boyfriend now, right? Right, he should respect that, right? So then he's put, congratulations, I'm happy for you. Happy birthday again, right? Okay. I put, thank you very much. So I'm being polite and formal. And then he's asked me, keep in touch, please. And I'm thinking, well, why do I need to keep in touch with him when clearly he's not the soulmate I wanted? Clearly he's not even a good friend because he can't even be bothered to video chat with me. And it's not going to be a good idea, is it really, if I keep friends with him when I've got a boyfriend now and I had romantic feelings for this guy at one point, and so did he with me. And I just think, when you get into a new relationship, you have to ask yourself, are you being really fair to the person you're in the relationship with? If some other person starts coming between you, or if you had feelings for someone in the past, like, you know what I mean? And it's not very good. I don't think it's very good. I think it's better to cut that out. You don't want to jeopardize your current relationship for a past person who is clearly no good, going potentially being in a relationship with you anyway. And clearly he can't even be a good friend. He's not very good. So you keep in touch, please. I mean, why should I bother keeping in touch with this guy who hasn't even contacted me for 3 months, right? This is what he was like. Sometimes he'd show up and then get all romantic, towards me, and then I wouldn't hear from him for months. It's not a good guy who does this, right? You don't want this type of person in your life. It's the same as if you've got a friend, they've been friends with you for a while, and then all of a sudden they turn up. It's like, oh, please message me, please phone me, let's do something, when they haven't even spoke to you for 3, 4, 5, whatever months. It's not a good friend who does that. It means they're turning up out of the blue to satisfy their own needs, to satisfy their own, I don't know, insecurities, their own needs, their own ego that they need boosting. This is not the type of person you need for a friend or a potential relationship. It's just bad for you, right? But if you've got a lack of friends in your life, then it can make you really want to keep people like this in your life, because I mean, he's not a really nasty person, right? Overall, he's not a really nasty person, right? I've known him for a very long time. He does poetry. I have things in common with him, right? There have been some times when he has been there for me when I have been upset and stuff, right? So obviously when you've got a history with someone of 5 years, it can be difficult to let someone go, but you have to weigh up the situation nowadays. It's no good focusing on the past and everything, because I might have been there for him in the past, he might have been there for me. You have to focus on the present and ask yourself, is this person actually good enough for you now in the present? Is this person going to be healthy for you? Is there any reason to have this person in your life still? Yes, I could keep him in my life because I've been friends with him for 5 years, and I could keep him for that point of view, but I don't think it's healthy for what he starts saying to me, So he's put keep in touch, please, right? This is a conversation Thursday, yesterday. You haven't been in touch since January. I just put that because you unfriended me. I mean, this is rubbish. He can still message me. Clearly, he's messaged me here. So it doesn't matter if I've unfriended him or not. He can still message me. So again, he's blaming me. When someone, friend or potential relationship person, blames you for their bad behavior, so he's blaming me for not getting in touch with me. It's my fault he didn't get in touch with me. How is it my fault that he's not been in touch with me? It's not. It's his fault. It's his responsibility, right? So it's just a load of rubbish. And a person who does this has actually got very narcissistic traits, but it's very subtle. It's like a turnaround. They switch it round to everything being your fault, for you not explaining yourself, for you not doing something, when really it's them just being controlling and dominating and being narcissistic, right? So he said, because you unfriended me, I wanted to, this is why he hasn't been in touch. I wanted to say happy birthday since I remember your birthday. Just recently, a friend from London visited me. He helped me with a speaking class, right? Bear in mind, this guy wants to come to UK. He did try to get into Exeter University, so potentially I could have ended up in a relationship with him, theoretically speaking, if it had worked out. But I mean, he wants marriage and I never did. And, he's not asexual, even though he has always supported my asexuality, this guy, I have to say. He used to share my stuff sometimes and he was supportive like that. But, when he said just recently a friend from London visited me, and I know he's finding it hard to get in this country. He does like older people. Well, told me he didn't like older women per se, but he did like me. Anyway, I have a boyfriend now, so it's different. So I put, I unfriended you because of our last conversation. Even a foreign friend would not be embarrassed to video chat with me in an internet cafe and make up excuses not to talk to me. This is not a true friend. And this is what I want to show you, right? Even if you've got someone who's technically been your friend for years, right? You've spoken, you've messaged a lot, you've kind of been there for each other. There comes a point in time when you have to assess if this person is worth keeping in your life. And if you are going to keep them in your life, what does that say about you? If you're keeping them in your life because you're scared you'll lose them when you really need to let them go anyway, if you're keeping them in your life because you focusing on the past and the friendship you've had for years rather than the present and what they're doing with you now or doing to you or saying to you, if you're literally, just really living the past, you're just living all the previous years, you're not paying attention to what their actual words are now, right? Someone may be nice to you for a long time, and then all of a sudden they might start getting horrible. And why they do that? Because they want to control what you're doing. They want to have control, or they feel sorry for themselves because they've got no one. And all of a sudden you happen to be convenient there and they turn up in your life because they are insecure about themselves, because they want an ego power boost, because they're feeling, they need their ego boosting to say, oh, you're great, oh, I still like you and all the rest of it. So it's not really a sense of they've got your welfare at heart. It's a sense they've got their own welfare at heart, not yours, right? So this is what he's put. It was not you, not embarrassed because of you, but I don't want to be watched by prying eyes. I mean, it's a blimmin' internet cafe, for F's sake. Do you know what I'm saying? If people didn't go to internet cafes, they wouldn't exist in his country. So obviously somebody, and if he's worried about what people think, again, he's no good for me, because I want a boyfriend who doesn't give a toss what other people think, who kisses me in public. I mean, even as a friend, why would a friend get embarrassed to speak to you in an internet cafe? If he really did just want friendship from me, why? What he would talk about, oh, what do you have for tea tonight? Like, what about your job? Do you know what I mean? When you're talking about non-romantic stuff, why would he mind about that? It's absolutely ludicrous, right? I don't like it when people I don't want to be watched by prying eyes. It's a different society here, Sandra. I don't like it when people stare at me. This was my point. I've got this new Oppo phone, so I don't need to go to the cafe anymore. No, it's when he's got a new phone, he then decides to ring me. And bear in mind, I can't take phone calls from abroad anyway, because it charges me. My phone charges me to receive phone calls from abroad that's on a normal phone. He found my phone. He didn't phone via Facebook. Plus, it's not allowed to speak. Listen to this. Plus, it's not allowed to speak aloud in a public place. I wish we forget this. I hope your birthday was amazing. He wants to forget it because he wants me to stop me going on at him, because he is the one that is blaming me for him not talking to me. And clearly he doesn't want to talk to me in a public place. I don't want to be friends with someone like that. That's my point to him. I don't want to keep in touch with him, you know? And if you're not allowed to speak in a public place, why would you have internet cafes in the first place? You wouldn't. Internet cafes are for talking out loud to people, are they not? Do you know what I mean? Like when you're doing Skyping or whatever. It's ridiculous, and obviously, if you're in an internet cafe, you're going to be talking sometimes online. It's ridiculous. It's just absolutely ridiculous. So anyway, I put you spoke to me before in an internet cafe, right? He spoke to me before in an internet cafe, only you did not switch your camera on. So again, you are full of excuses, not the real truth. I wrote to you, remember? Question mark. The mic was malfunctioning. You spoke, I listened, right? Which proves if there's a mic there, that, people do speak on a microphone on the internet cafe. So it can't be not allowed, can it? Right? This is how you catch out liars, right? Sad he's lying to me still, 5 years friendship. So are you now saying you lied to me and the Mac was not malfunctioning and you just said that so you did not speak to me in public, right? So he's made a rod for his own back. And then he's go, I'm confused. He's not confused. He's just been caught out, right? The mic was malfunctioning. I changed the post / the computer 3 times. They have broken computers, plus the cafe was a bit empty that day. This is Algeria, not Sweden. So do you notice his contradictions, right? He said that he can't speak publicly in an internet cafe. He said he can't speak publicly, right? He talks about an internet cafe when he tried to speak to me publicly because the mic was malfunctioning. So he tried to change computers 3 times. In other words, he attempted to talk to me in an internet cafe 3 times. Yet he's saying he can't do that. He's lying, right? This is how you catch liars, right? Plus the cafe was a bit empty that day. So if the cafe was empty that day, he's not even talking much in front of people. So there's no excuses. Do you see what I mean? It's lies. It's absolute lies. Do not be friends with a person like this. Even though they might pull at your heartstrings a bit for all the years of friendship gone before, for actually any past feelings you might have had or they might have had, or, just don't be friends with a person like this. It's bad for you. You don't want to be friends with people like this. If you've got anyone's on your friends list and Facebook and they're doing this type of rubbish with you, cut them, block them, delete them, get rid of them, right? So I put, reread what you just wrote in your previous messages and look at the contradictions all the time, right? The mic of the first, the second, or the third computer. I don't think you get what I mean. See what he said? He said the mic of the first, the second, or the third computer. When before he said you can't talk aloud in public, it's not loud. Do you see how ironic and terrible a liar he is? He's been found out that he was trying to speak to me out loud, yet he's just told me in the same messages that he can't speak to me in public. He's a liar, an absolute liar, right? I don't think you get what I mean. Okay, read what I wrote. You will realise what big misunderstanding you're in. Again, blaming me. I should go now because my students are waiting for me. Take care and have a nice day. Happy birthday again. So he wants to get out of the conversation now, right? Because again, he's the one in the wrong, but he wants to push it all on me. Right? This is a narcissistic guy. It's horrible because obviously I know the good side of him, right? But you've got to look at the overall person, right? You've got to look at how they're treating you. You've got to look at contradictions. You've got to look at all the rubbish they're telling you. What they're saying in one breath and saying in another. It's just full of bull. Absolutely full of bull. And I finally said it. I thought, I don't like saying this to people because I don't like accusing people of things, but I was absolutely sick of it. I thought, right, it's about time I stand up to you, right? I am not the problem, you are. Because to be quite frankly, that is the truth. He is the problem, right? He was one who said, I think you're my soulmate. He's the one who sometimes is romantic with me and then not at other times. He's the one who uses me every few months or whatever when he feels like it, when he wants to talk to me. Sometimes he can't start saying, oh, I've missed you, Sandra. It's like, really missed me? Really? When you haven't spoken to me for months? It's rubbish. Anyway, I put, I'm not the problem, you are. I thought, just say that, Sandra. You're not going to be friends with him for very much longer. And he finally stick up to the bloke and just tell him he's the problem, right? I don't like accusing people of things because I don't think it's nice, but actually I'm fed up with it, right? And if this makes you happy, then I am the problem, right? Which is another sarcastic way of making me feel bad about myself because I've said to him about the problem. So he's trying to turn it on me by his tone of voice in this message, right? I'm very good at reading tones of voice in messages. And he put thumbs up. And I told him blatantly, I don't appreciate mind manipulation, because that's what he does. It's mind manipulating, right? He's telling you one thing, then he's doing another. This applies to friends as well as a potential relationship, right? It applies to friends a lot. If they're doing more mind manipulation stuff on you, get rid of them. I don't care how long you've been friends with them, where it's 5, 10, 15 years. If they aren't happy with your current situation, it's your life, just delete and block them. Why are you hanging on to them? If you are hanging on to someone who is bad for you or bad for your current relationship, bad for your current life, then you have to ask yourself, what is the problem with you? Are you insecure? The fact you can't let them go, or what? Do you know what I mean? Because it does take strength to do it. It does take strength to give up people in your life, but that's the whole part of life. You become a stronger person. The more you become a stronger person, the more less people rubbish you, give you bull, and the higher the standards you have, so you get better quality people in your life, better quality friendships and relationships, right? And he put I don't appreciate mind manipulation, right? And he put, me neither. I may come for a visit to Exeter after arriving to London. Sorry, must be going. Take care, princess. He used to call me princess because he wanted to be in a relationship with me. When he called me a soulmate, he started calling me princess. And he knew that I really loved being called that, right? Because it was really romantic between me and him. That is not respecting my current situation, my boyfriend. One, he's saying he may come to Exeter to see me after arriving in London. So he's still intending on coming to the UK. Then he's saying about coming to, now he's got a friend who's in London, right? He's more like to happen. So that's probably why he's showed up in my life again, right? Because he thinks, now I have my cake and eat it. Now I've got his friend in London. They'll help me get into the UK, and then I can see me, because he fancied me for years, right? And he said, oh, sorry, must be going. Take care, princess. And that's horrible, because it's so disrespectful to my current boyfriend, right? I've told him at the beginning of this message, I've got a boyfriend, right? Still, he wants to come and see me on my own, because there's no mention of my boyfriend. There's no, I'll come and see you and your boyfriend if you wouldn't mind. Nothing like that. And to say, take care, princess, it's like I'm in a relationship with them, right? You do not speak to someone who's just a friend and use the word princess like that. That is a term and an endearment. That is something a boyfriend uses to a girlfriend, or someone who fancies you and wants to use that term towards you. That is what it is, right? I do not appreciate that, right? Now, sure, I could stay friends with this guy. I mean, my boyfriend's not asked me to delete him. He hasn't asked me to block him. Yeah, I told him afterwards, some of the last bit, calling me princess, but I don't think that's good for my boyfriend. I hope my boyfriend would do exactly the same for me if he'd been friends with someone for years and they were bad for our relationship, because I think when you're in a relationship, you should really be sticking together like bestest friends and taking on the world. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, if you've got people who are friends in your life before you met and they're good for you and good for the relationship and they're supportive, that's, carry on being friends, no matter what gender they are, male or female. But if you've got people like this who are trying to manipulate and private message and just trying to pretend like nothing's happened, you haven't even got that partner, they're disgusting, right? They're not going to be healthy. If I carry on speaking to this guy, right, over several months, right, I've had feelings for him in the past, I admit that. He has for me. It's not going to be good, is it? Right? And the way he speaks to me is not good, I'm not having it anymore, right? I got a boyfriend now. I love implicitly. And I do not think it's right to have these people that's from the past. Yes, they were there for me, but I was there for them. You see, it works both ways, not just them being there for me. And you have to let people go. When you let people go, better people come into your life, better things come into your life, right? So yes, it's hard because my little heartstrings are like, well, he has been a friend for a long time. He has been there for me some of the time. So that's kind of the heartstring bit. But my heart now belongs romantically to another guy who's my boyfriend. And I don't think this guy's healthy for me anyway. As you can clearly see, he's a liar, right? Only shows up in my life when he wants something to make himself feel good. And he acts like nothing's happened, right? One minute it's acting like we're friends. The next minute it's saying princess. That's not something you use, as you know, between just friends, is it? No guy calls me his princess unless he fancies me or in a relationship with him, right? And I'm in a relationship now. You had your chance with me and blew it. And now I have a super strong guy and real man for me, right? Now he's switching it round. We were friends. I didn't blow anything. May you be happy and blessed with your boyfriend. Wish both the best. And I blocked him now because I do not completely blocked him from Facebook. Like he not just blocked him by messenger, blocked him completely from me. Because I was going to think about blocking him by messenger because he's in asexual groups, despite not being asexual, right? Again, why is he in asexual groups if he's not asexual, right? Years ago, I fell out with him for about 8 months because he joined asexual groups and he told me, if he ever was with an asexual person in a relationship, it would have been me, right? And then I told him I wasn't interested in marriage. And then we had this argument and he said, oh, we're like an old married couple. And I was thinking, well, yeah, I don't want to marry you anyway. But But to cut a long story short, he then, like, because I told him no, because I know guys are a lot of the time are after visas anyway, from abroad. He then went and went in the asexual singles group, so he's in that group, and went on. I think he's in the Australian asexual group as well. So he's in other asexual groups, right? And he's not even asexual. And I told the admin of the singles group, but you know, she's kind of like, it's between you and him, even though he's not asexual. And anyway, I just came to terms with it, and we didn't speak for months. I just thought, fine, that's it. I think we were still friends, but we didn't speak for months. So I'm just like, right, whatever, you know what I mean? And it's like fine, you know, like I kind of got my feelings got less and less for him, so I was quite glad to be free of him for about 8 months. And then, you know, then he started all of a sudden liking my posts and talking to me again. But anyway, saying he missed me and stuff. But anyway, you know, he's gone now out of my life. That is hard when you've let someone go and you've known them for over 5 years. It's hard from the friendship, right? And clearly he's no good for me, right? And I think when you've got a partner, like, you've got to keep all the friends good, supportive, no matter what gender they are. Obviously, you know, most of my friends, the majority tend to be more guys than girls. And so, you know, but I'm very, very trustworthy person. I know to say no. My best male friends, they have the same, my 2 best male asexual friends, they have the same boundaries as me in place. So particularly my best friend Sam. So there's none of this rubbish going on about, like, there's none of this, like, you know, are you really just friends concept. It's completely like body language. It's like we're you know, space between us, and you know, like he likes boys anyway, he likes guys anyway. I like guys. We like the same guys sometimes, in the past especially. Obviously now I've got a boyfriend, it's a bit different. But yeah, I said you can't have my boyfriend. Obviously. But he would never do that anyway. My friends would never take my boyfriend away from me, which is great. So it's brilliant. Yeah, so you know, it's really important to get with friends. So yeah, I blocked him, and I wanted to show you just how you know, you can do this, right? It is hard. I'm not going to lie to you and say it's not difficult, but it is really hard, you know, if you've been friends with someone for a long time. But you have to ask yourself, like, what is the benefits of staying as a friend with that person? What history have you got together? Because if you've got a romantic history, that's not very appropriate, is it, really, when you get into a new relationship together with your new partner? I've got a new boyfriend, you know, it's not very appropriate anyway. But yes, okay, some guys that are on my friends list have had romantic feelings before, because the majority, quite a lot of foreign guys do. But I mean, at the stage I'm at now, it's not like they're actually like, you know, like this guy is calling me princess. Do you see what I mean? And now I've got a boyfriend. They should all be respectful and, you know, like cut anything out. But they're not really like ever going to be. They weren't ever going to be in a relationship with me anyway, right? So yeah, so it's like kind of like you know, you have to move on. And if you've still got friends, like my friend Sam's great, he just goes through his friends list on Facebook and he actually cuts people down. So whereas some people, you know, are friend collectors, oh my god, the friend collectors, you know, the people that are kind of really insecure and need as many friends as possible on their friends list just to make themselves feel good about themselves because they haven't got any friends, right? Okay, like, you know, you don't want to be doing that in your life. You want to be collecting good quality friends online, but you know, you'll always have some acquaintances on Facebook, like if you do business. So I did business, and I'm friends with loads. Half my Facebook people are friends are business, but a lot of business people actually use their personal Facebook profile for business, even though you're not supposed to legally buy Facebook. There's ways around it because you add them as a friend, and then, you know, so half my like nearly half are entrepreneur people, half the people nearly asexual, and I've got some friends, a couple of friends from school, and then people I know as friends, and fibro people and stuff like that. So, but you know, like my friend Sam, he cuts people down because he said since he's met me, he gets good, better quality friends. He'd rather have a handful of really best quality friends than have a load of rubbish people who don't really care about him, don't really interact with him, don't really talk to him. And sometimes they're negative on his Facebook, right? He doesn't want that. So he'll actually, rather than most people like friend collectors, oh, how many hundreds of people can I get on there? I mean, obviously it's for business. It's a bit different because you're trying to run a business and get, you know, people try and get customers through that. That's what they do, even though you might not know that. That's what they actually do. But, you know, if you're using it for personal reasons, like, why do you need tons of people who you don't really know on there? Like, I don't, you know, like when I've been in my old jobs, I've only literally got a couple of people on there that are people that I really got on well with or knew for a long time, you know, not like mountains and mountains of people, you know. And so I think it's really important to make sure that the people you hang around with are quality people. You know, you need to get quality friends. And the ones that treat you like that constantly blaming you for things and switching things round to your problem, you don't need that in your life, right? You have to learn to let go. And once you start learning to let go of people that are no bad, that bad for you, no good in your life, you'll start to feel like a sense of empowerment, and you'll start to feel like much more confident yourself. You'll start to not let people use you as much and abuse you as much, and you'll start to like get a backbone, and you'll start to like be a really strong person because of it. And you'll start to learn to detach more, which is healthy anyway. If you're still hung up on people that are no good for you, you have to like kind of look internally and think, what's the matter with me? Why am I needing to cling to these people who are clearly no good for me anymore? Why am I needing them in my life? Do I feel insecure about myself? Do I feel I need to be validated by this person? Am I really loyal to the past them but not the current them, which can happen a lot? I mean, that happened in my relationship of 8.5 years, right? The first few months were great, and I always believed my ex would go back to the nice person that I always thought he was when I was like best friends with him before I got in a relationship with him, right? And shortly after I got in a relationship with him, and he moved into the place where I was living, pretty much like he lived upstairs, I lived downstairs, he started to turn nasty on me. But I always remember the good times, and I always convinced in my head that I never want to let someone go because I'm a fighter and I want to keep going. And he wasn't fighting for me, he was just fighting for himself and literally trying to fight me sometimes. And so he was no good for me, and I won't be in a relationship like that again. I won't be with a person who's mentally, emotionally, and potentially physically threatening and abusive. I won't be with someone like that anymore. So I was looking at the past, I was looking at what I did have that short period of time, and I think that's what you have to do in your life. Like the guy that's just talked to me, I mean, he's not a really nasty, horrible person per se, but clearly he is mind manipulating, because he whenever I'm trying to say to him something about, well, you don't really care because you're not doing this, that, the other, he's then turning it around on me. But why am I even bothering to waste my breath on this person? Why? If he doesn't clearly want to speak to me in an Intact Cafe, he doesn't want to go out his way for me, he's no good for me, he's a friend. So cut these people out of your life. Cut these people, even if it's really, 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 really hard. I've got to cut some more people out of my life. I've got to cut a guy, because the guy's pretty much cut off from me, a friend I've had for like 6 years. He doesn't speak to me anymore. So I'll give him an ample opportunity to talk to me, but I'm going to have to just delete him off Facebook. What's the point in keeping him on there? It's better. I personally kind of prefer cutting people off, clearly. Like sometimes I'll leave them a message and say, look, this obviously, like you're not speaking to me. Clearly, you don't want to be in my life as a friend anymore. I wish you well. Bye. Or other times like this guy I've just from Algeria, I've just blocked him now. I thought that's enough. I've had enough of the conversation. It's gone on long enough. Pretty much he knows I've unfriended him anyway. Maybe he'll try and message me one day and he'll see it's blocked. And he doesn't deserve to be in my life. He doesn't deserve for me to keep in touch with him and have that connection with him when he's trapped me, like clearly, like everything's my fault, and I don't think it's a good idea for me to be involved with someone who I was romantically interested in before, and vice versa. You can still get those feelings there even if you have got a new partner, because it can rekindle some, and you don't want to get that into that situation. Just because you're in a relationship doesn't mean to say well, with me obviously I'm a hyper romantic, so I've got to be careful of these things. So I'm very wary about this. I'm very aware of myself. A lot of people aren't self-aware. So what self-awareness means is you really understand how your mind works, whether you agree with it or not. You really understand your feelings towards other people, right? So if I'm aware that I'm attracted to someone, like I don't want to be attracted to anyone really than my boyfriend, obviously. But if I, as a hyper romantic, I can be aesthetically, or, sometimes, I don't want that. So obviously I have to recognize that might just happen, but not to the intensity of my boyfriend. So I just have to kind of like not focus on that, right? And just accept whatever it is. But I don't want connection with someone who that might happen with, right? It's not good for me. I'm with someone now in a romantic relationship. I love him implicitly. So it's better to let this person go. Okay, so that's what I'm telling you. Let people go. Especially if they're a past flame and you're still keeping in contact with them. Why the hell are you doing that when you've got a partner, right? You don't need to do that. Cut. And also, like someone like that, and also if they're being bad for you and contradicting themselves, they're not really a true friend, are they? They're just literally cropping up in your life when they want something to please their own ego or whatever. And like I said, please self-reflect as why you're keeping friends with them. Why are you clinging on to the past, right? You should be pushing forward and bringing new things in your life to better your life in the future, right? Always self-assessed. Don't just live unconsciously going wow in life. Live a conscious life. It's so much better. Anyway, I hope you found this video useful, helpful, insightful some way. If you have, please, please, please give this video a thumbs up. I'd really, 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 really appreciate that. As always, if you haven't already subscribed to this channel, please hit the great big subscribe button down below. Please hit that bell icon to get notified of every time I go live right now or post a new video. And as always, don't forget to give the bell icon a hit up. Hit that bell icon to get notified of every time I go live right now or post a new video. Thank you so much, Michael, for watching. Thanks to everyone else who's watching. Lots of love to everyone who watches my channel. Lots of friendship, ace love. And don't forget to share this video with anyone you feel who may benefit from it. Until next time, embrace your quirky and each other's, and I will see you on the next live stream or video. I'm out all day tomorrow, so I don't know if I'm going to get to do my live stream. I don't think I will. I'm out for my birthday to Bream Theme Park with my boyfriend. I couldn't get to go on Wednesday because my best friend, he injured his foot when he got here on Monday because he was kindly walking me home after he paid for the cinema for my birthday and watched Shazam. I've got to do a review about that, an in-depth review as well, because I haven't done one yet. That'll be later. So tomorrow, I don't think I'm going to be live streaming at all, right? And I can't do mobile live streaming anymore, as you know, because YouTube won't let me live stream via mobile device anymore, right? So unfortunately, I won't be live streaming. But I do love all of you as my asexual friends on here, and thank you for watching this channel. Thanks for your support. Don't forget to tell other people about this channel, and make sure if you've got multiple YouTube channels, you subscribe from each channel so that we can get these numbers up on subscribers. So eventually I can hit 1,000+ subscribers and I can go back to mobile live streaming. So I, like I would be able to share my birthday with you going around a theme park, bits of it, which I can't actually do unless I record it somewhere else and then upload it here, but it won't be live. But I am with my boyfriend tomorrow. It'll be an amazing day and I'm really looking forward to it. I'm really in a happy sex-free relationship now. It is absolute bliss. He's a real cutie. He's actually British and he's just amazing. I love him to bits. And so anyway, I will see you on the next video live stream. Go get this video thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, and I will see you soon. Take care. Bye. Have a good weekend. Bye, or wherever when you're watching this, it might not be the weekend, so have a great day. Bye. Bye, Michael. Bye, everyone. Bye.